Hulk Hogan was on Logan Paul's podcast, Two Men Who Trevor Loves Unconditionally.
Oh, yes. All the love.
And there are two things I'm going to point out. First of all, we're going to talk about this comment that Hulk Hogan made that has everyone talking.
How did I not see this?
It is one of the most insensitive things I've heard in a while from Hulk Hogan, which is insane considering some of the things he said.
I'm about to say that says a lot.
So Hulk Hogan was on the podcast, and he was talking about wrestling fans canceling him and all that kind of stuff. Trevor, here is what he had to say.
If Chris Benoit can do the crap he did and the fans still love him, they're very forgiving. I've made some major mistakes in my personal life, and they're very, very forgiving, but they forgive you. But
reaction.
Who's forgiving Chris Benoit?
I don't know. I don't know, Trevor, but the reaction. Let's look. If they can forgive. What do you even say to this? Number one, my main thing is, of all the situations to compare yourself to, Chris Benoit.
Really? Right.
That's not even just a wrong.
Punk would have been made more sense, right? Because people do hate CM Punk. That would have made more sense, but oh boy,
there's a lot to unpack here, Trevor. But start to unpack it. Hulk Hogan says fans will forgive him because, wow.
Wait, the people are forgiving Chris Benoit. His fans are forgiving him. No. That's why he goes by as redacted. The amount of bull crap that comes out of this man's mouth is astonishing. And the fact that and you know what? Honestly, Omar, he honestly believes it too.
100 P, he believes that.
100% believes the shit that comes out of his mouth. Take the fact that he's a blatant racist and a bunch of other crap out of out of it with him. He's also a blooming idiot. I have never liked Hulk Hogan. I'd never really. I won't say I ever hated him, but I never. Well, I do hate him, but I don't like him, and I didn't think he was that great a wrestler. I make fun of him constantly, but he doesn't help it because he's a freaking idiot. And a absolute liar. Good God, sir.
Yeah, that was of all the things Hogan said, that is a wild, for so many reasons. Number one, okay, you're going to compare yourself to a situation about fans forgiving someone. Someone who murdered his wife and child is your first go-to. That's screams red flag to me. And look, we're laughing about it, but at the same time, it is what Chris Benoit did is unforgivable in so many degrees.
Absolutely.
No serious person has forgiven Chris Benoit in the way that Hulk Hogan is talking about.
There have been true crimers and I guess fans that try to look into it and try to unpack what they want to unpack.
There's nothing to look into. He murdered his wife and child.
I understand what you're saying, and I get it. I agree. But I know, and I agree. But I'm just saying, I know exactly what you mean. But no, I'm just saying, you got your true crimers and your conspiracy theorists that think it didn't happen that way. Someone else did it. Blah blah blah. And you know what? You're entitled to think whatever you want to do. But like you said, to try to compare yourself to that situation, what kind of...
Who are you helping? Okay. Who are you helping? That's what you're helping yourself. I don't know who.
What kind of psychopath are you, though? Really? You're not only are you arrogant, but you're a fucking psychopath.
Or as Chris Sutton in the chat says, delusional, which I agree.
My brother says it best.
Shout out to him. It is just I mean, it's just like every time there's not a new low, like the Hulk Hogan creates one. This is like, I mean, again, I want to be clear about this. No one, no one has forgiven Chris Benoit. There is, it's unfathomable to forgive him for that. Like, he took a child's life, his son's life away from him. He took his wife's life away from him. That is unforgivable. To compare you, Hulk Hogan, being a race, like, I don't even want to get into those comparisons, to be honest with you, because it's just, it goes down.
It's it's sickening.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, and I don't want to like compare anything. The idea that he genuinely believes that fans are forgiving Benoit shows you how like out of touch he is. No one is forgiven Benoit.
And the sad part is, like, Omar, like, as many weirdos and wrestling fans we have, there probably are some that have.
Well, no, I believe there are. Like, look, yeah,
but
I totally believe there are. But I'm telling you, that's why I said, like, there's no serious person who can look me in the eye and defend what Chris Benoit did.
As casually as like, oh, I'm changing my shoes. Like, it's the dumbest thing. It's mind blowing. And you said he said something else stupid.
We'll talk about that. But like, look, and I've said this before. I don't think there was a bigger Benoit fan from other than me when I was a kid. Like from like 2002 to like 2007 when the murder suicide happened. Like the idea of forgiving Benoit like has never crossed my mind in any weird whatever conceptual way, because it's just unforgivable. Like it is just, that's a stupid thing to say. Of all the stupid things Hulk Hogan has said as of recently, this really takes the cake.
I mean, the gentleman, the comic, Chris Sutton, like I said, I've said many times, that's my brother. He may have been one of the biggest Benoit fans I've ever known. Besides, of course, I think JB Anderson liked him a little bit, but he mostly liked the flying headbutt. But but Chris is one of the biggest Benoit fans I've ever met. And like every wrestling game, he would play with him. His wrestler would have the tights. His, like, when we had the very first WCW game, that's who he played with all the time. He played with him or Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Legion of Doom. Like, he played with, that's who he played with. He was a Benoit fan. When that happened, I have never seen concern and sadness on that man's face like that. Like, besides other serious situations, but like that, like involving a wrestler. Like, my brother to this day doesn't talk about Benoit, doesn't talk about the situation. He watched the Dark Side of the Ring episode. He called me about it. I think he's watched it like twice now, and it was one of those things that he couldn't watch. It was hard for him to watch, and I get anybody that says that's hard for him to watch. That one in Owen for me was very hard to watch, but it's. I mean, yeah, like you said, and I'm sure you were a big Benoit fan because you like your technical wrestlers, but like Chris, oh man, y'all could have sat down and swapped war stories because both of you are big Benoit fans, but man, after that, he was. I'm sorry, were Benoit fans, but after that, nope.
Nope, Hulk Hogan might be like, oh brother, he's forgiven. Jesus. Nope. Well. Anyway, Hulk Hogan lying and saying outrageous things. What else is new?